Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You are here on the home of the slightly above average ship for you. And today I am bringing you the first match that I played in the German Tier 8 Premium Destroyer, Elbing. Alright, so let's talk about how this isn't a destroyer. First of all, the name Elbing was applied to the Type 39 torpedo boats, of which there were about, 15 or so. Those torpedo boats had 4 105 millimeter guns and 2 triple tube launchers. Now, this ship is really called a Spahkreuzer 1938, a planned class of large destroyers or reconnaissance cruisers. Only one ship, the SP-1, was laid down, and it was never completed because after they laid the keel and started to build it, they had to destroy the plans because of an air raid, and the metal was repurposed to finish other ships that were further along in the building process. So there isn't any logical way that you could call this ship the Elbing and be in line with history. But again, wargaming, ship naming, they say, oh, well, ships are named after the lead ship in the class, except when they don't want to follow that rule, and then they're named after whatever wargaming thinks they should be named after. So this ship isn't the Elbing. It's the SP-1 or the Z-40, but the Elbing class, a totally different class of torpedo boats with much weaker armament. All right, rant over. The Elbing has some long-range torpedoes meant for zoning, area denial, that kind of thing, more than they are meant to take out other ships. Got these 150 millimeter guns. If you have the Z-39 Tier 6 Premium Destroyer, you'll know all about these guns. Got about between a 6 and 7 second reload, and they are 150 millimeters, so they can punch pretty hard, but they do a lot better punching with the armor piercing than the high explosive. So this ship is more of a cruiser hunter than a gunboat, and that is how I would play it if I were you. I just threw Erich Buy in here, so there's no specialized build. Vaz Vegas bought this during his live stream last week, and we were talking about it, albeit briefly, and I said, hey, you build this thing totally different than I build this thing. So your mileage may vary when it comes to the building of this ship. All right, you can see our zoning torpedoes are heading by the corpse of the first ship killed in the match. And again, I'm just doing these as maybe get a lucky hit on the other enemy destroyer, which is also an Elbing, or to make those ships turn away from certain areas. But fear not, we will actually aim them at a ship here sooner or later. And we do have the high explosive loaded just in case we start shelling an enemy ship. But that being said, the armor piercing does much, much better damage. And so the default for your load in this ship should be the armor piercing. Just one man's opinion. And since I use Erich Buy with a bias towards armor piercing shells in the higher tier German destroyers, including Z-39, ZF-6, for me, putting him in this ship kind of seemed like the natural fit. All right, we are spotted by carrier-based aircraft. One good thing about this fictional destroyer, it has 2 charges of the DFAA, and there is the enemy Elbing out there. He is shooting into our wake and not really at us because we're too smart and we moved out of the way. The DFAA charge can't be exchanged for anything else, so I'm glad we have it. Although, to be honest, I think we all know there are much more useful things than DFAA. However, that being said, maybe at that point in the war, 1938, pre-war, the ship may not have had detection capabilities if it had been completed. So I'm willing to say appropriate, even though we all know that anti-aircraft didn't really become a thing until everybody realized how effective aircraft carriers were in the battle space. All right, so we captured Alpha. We are now moving into Bravo. You know, at the end of the day, it's still a destroyer, folks. And as you can see, we got the concealment down to 5.3. I could get it even lower if I wanted to, but I don't run double concealment inspiration on this commander. So I think you can get it as low as maybe 5.2, 5.1, or if you use the concealment destroyer commander, you could get it down to 4.9 if you're using double concealment. However, I do not recommend that because the base traits are not as useful on any other commander you could put in here other than Erich Spy. And I'm saying that I have Blue Furiora. Yeah, that's going to make you faster. But again, if you built into torpedoes, you're going to hurt your reload. You could, in theory, build into AA. That is also possible. And we are not using Twist and Track here. We're using Perceptive. So, you know, Blue Furiora might be an okay choice here if you have her higher ranked than Erich Spy. But I think pretty badly of the other regular commander whose name escapes me. He's got a beard and a mustache and looks very dapper in his uniform. But, you know, his base trait has to do with having your smokescreen reload quicker and I don't think that's very useful. So here we are smoking up. We switched armor piercing, got the 2 cruisers on the enemy team over here. So we are going to engage them. We are engaging a Hipper. We disable one of his turrets temporarily. Second salvo, maybe not what I really wanted there. Third salvo. I mean, it's okay. We dodged some torpedoes inadvertently. Fourth salvo. Oh, that's the good one right there. A couple Citadel hits, and down goes the Hipper. Other cruiser over here is a Bayard. We're just going to shell him with the armor piercing for a little while. Maybe I should have switched back to HE with this profile. You know, you tell me. We do knock out his turret. So even if you're not getting Citadel hits from this angle, you can still disable the enemy turret and stuff like that. We disabled something else, I don't know what, and now we're blind firing because no one is spotting over here. The Tirpitz trying to move into the battle space, but we're going to switch back to the Bayard because he's still up. And we're going to take him down to the nub. And of course, as you know, that is the cue for my teammates to take out whatever ship I've been shooting at. So we'll shoot, but somebody else is already shooting, and he is dead. All right, Tirpitz over here. You can see the RDF indicator. I was not really paying attention to that. Enemy airplanes coming overhead. Maybe I triggered that DFAA charge a little bit prematurely. If I had to do it over again, I would have held on to the DFAA and not used it. We're still shooting at this Tirpitz, but as you can see, the RDF indicator, we're distracted by the Tirpitz and the main, and I have to move up to dodge torpedoes. Into the superstructure of the main, barely by the skin of our teeth. When we do set the main on fire, we dodge that torpedo, and I have no idea how it did not hit us. All right, piling up a couple of plane shot down flags. We are spotted. The enemy Elbing in the cap. He gets the first shot at us. We were angled. We've got HE loaded, so we're going to shoot HE. Immediately, we will bring up our torpedo thing for some reason. Get a cap reset. By this time, we've switched armor piercing. And as you can see, armor piercing against your counterpart is a good idea. It takes a lot of damage from one of my teammates, and we finish him off for our first kill. All right, Tirpitz over here. Can't really sneak the torpedoes around that island, so we won't try. As you can see, the blue team is waffle stomping the red team. They've got a carrier left. They've got this German ship over here, and they've got one other ship. And I think both of the... No, one is over by the Alpha Cap. But the other two are around here. So we're going to just try to detect this ship here. Tirpitz, there he is. And see where he's going and maybe launch the torpedoes. But I think he was anticipating this because literally as soon as I launch them, he turns hard to starboard. And these torpedoes are all going to miss. And it's not like he spotted me, you know. So we're going to light him up. I was saying I'm getting about 3k damage, 3 to 4k on these salvos of armor piercing into the ship's superstructure. So while it necessarily isn't very sexy, it is good damage and helpful to your team. So don't be afraid to shoot this. Now, granted, you do not have the maneuverability. Very slow turning, in my opinion, and sluggish in the water. So don't think of yourself as a pure gunboat who can lob these shells with impunity. You are a big destroyer / small cruiser. You are going to get hit, and you are going to take damage, as you can see by the puncture wounds in the armor of the ship over there. All right, here we go. We've spotted the enemy carrier, the Saipan. This is why I wish I had saved one last DFAA charge. But we're just going to turn all the way around and put our guns on the port side. We still have the armor piercing loaded. And so this is about 10 kilometers away. I want to say our max range is 11.9 kilometers. So this will give you an idea of the long-range gunnery and accuracy of the Spahkreuzer 38, which I think is pretty good. A couple Citadel hits there. No problem getting these shells impacting on target. Certainly, we're not getting any overpens, although I think we did get a ricochet there. But that is all good. The majority of these are good penetrations. I'm just trying to dial in that Citadel with little to no success. Although we, just as I say that, we do get another Citadel hit. And continuing to shell the hapless Saipan, which cannot really do anything at all to stop us. And you can see the reload. You know, it's about 7 seconds with this build. Maybe a little bit shorter than that, 6.5. We will do a port review of the Elbing. More Citadels piling up here. So again, cruisers, aircraft carriers, other destroyers, easy pickings for you if you are not the victim of some radar or sonar. Anyway, another Citadel hit, and we finish off the Saipan. All right, we've got the Tirpitz. We are spotted by planes. This is why I wish I had that DFAA charge. But it is not the Tirpitz that is going to kill us. It is those torpedoes due to our lack of maneuverability. We're turning hard, trying to get the torpedoes out. And we don't get them out before flooding out. All right, those aren't going to hit anything. I will probably skip ahead to the end of the match. All right, not too much later, the battle ended. My microphone keeps resetting the volume. Blah, 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 blah. Trying to get that Missouri sometime before the end of this year. Don't think I'm going to be able to pull it off, folks. All right, here we are on the victory screen. 103,891 total damage. We shot down 12 airplanes, 2 kills, 8 Citadel hits, 5 cap defended flags, 1 solo base cap, and 1 assisted base cap in the Elbing. We ended up with 421,239 silver and 8121 ship XP and commander XP in this tier 8 recon cruiser, destroyer leader, whatever you want to call it. All right, here we are at the top of the board, 3,007 base XP with those 2 big kills. I will note the enemy Elbing did finish the top of the board for his team. So this is a powerful ship, and if you can pony up the 1.4 million, green XP, it's worth it. All right, the mods, aiming system mod 1, steering gears mod 2, Concealment System Mod 1. Oh, yes. Congratulations to me. I really hate that when those stupid things interrupt. And the Gunfire Control System Mod 2. Your mileage may vary on those mods, folks. Those are just the ones I used. All right. Loadout, 2 charges of the smoke generator, 2 charges of the DFAA. Can't exchange that for anything else, as I stated in the game. Booster flags, we're just using the common battle booster for speed. You know, I may throw on the epic battle booster, but I don't think it is necessary for this ship. Simply because you're so big, you're not going to be avoiding a lot of stuff, even if they are shooting you from long ways away. All right, Type 9 permanent camo, legendary birthday flag for the Elbing. Taking a look at the stats, 34,100 hit points with our build. Got those 3x2 150 millimeter turrets, 11.9 kilometer firing range, 6.9 second reload, 18-second turn time. HE shells do 1,700 damage with an 8% fire chance. AP shells do 4,100 damage. Definitely want to use the AP whenever you can. All right, moving on to the torpedoes. Hopefully. Are we going to move on to the torpedoes? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. All right. 2 quintuple tube launchers reload every 90 seconds. Max damage 16,533. 13.5 kilometer range at 50 knots. Detectability 1,200 meters. AA defense, you can see your main battery is dual purpose and does count as AA. Although the best AA you have are the 30 millimeter flak, which is 3 kilometers an end. So not very good at long range AA. But as you saw, we didn't have any problem shooting down airplanes, although I would love another DFAA charge for this ship. And would I build into the AA if I used the base commander or something like that? Sure, I could see building into the AA. You'll never be as strong as a Friesland, but I'm not saying it wouldn't be worth it, especially if you use the base commander, then you can use fully packed, get an additional smoke charge, additional AA charge. All right, maneuverability, 37.3 knots, 890 meter turning circle, 5.7 second rudder shift time. Did feel very sluggish in the water to me. Concealment, 5.3 on the surface, 2.9 from the air, 3 kilometers when firing in smoke, as opposed to 2. So may that be a lesson to you. All right, armor profile, nothing big here, although your turrets do have a little bit more armor. So that's all I would take away from this armor profile. All right, taking a look at the commander. He is fully maxed. He is Erich Bai. All right, inspiration number 1, fully maxed William Sims. Inspiration number 2, Sa-Zhen Bing, increasing the ricochet angle of the AP shells. I think that is important to this ship, although you could also use Bull Halsey, or you could use Anton Gurin. Both also increase AP pen or AP damage. You know, it's up to you as which one you choose as far as that goes. But I like being able to get the angles. All right, row 1, Observant Rage. I recommend that to reduce the reload. Row 2, Look at Me Now. You could run Mortar. You can't use Listen Closely because you don't have sonar, so please don't choose that. Perceptive, I prefer that because we're going to take damage. Reaching Out is a possibility, but you lose the RDF indicator. And of course, Twist and Track. I just think Perceptive has made Twist and Track a little bit more obsolete. This isn't a pure gunboat, so you don't need that. Of course, Smoke on the Water and Unstoppable. Anyway, that is the Z40/SP1/Spahkreuzer 38. It is not the Elbing Wargaming. Nice try. You failed again, but you are used to failing. Anyway, hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. I will see you on the next video. And hey, if you got the 1.4 million green XP, the Elbing is worth it.